Yehuda is next in Baltimore. Hey, Yehuda, what's up?
Hi, Dave. I'm better than I deserve. How are you?
Just the same, sir. How can we help?
I've been wanting to say that since I started listening to you.
Thank you.
I just, before I get into my question, I just want to express my immense gratitude to you. You've definitely changed my life, both you directly and the Ramsey personalities. I'm so grateful.
Well, thank you, sir. How can we help today?
So I started my first leadership role at the end of November. I have 2 employees, and one of them has been behind since I started. How do I know if she's underperforming or if it's just the role and the responsibilities are too much?
Well, I've gotten this wrong a bunch of times, and I'll probably get it wrong again, because my first tendency is always to think I've given them too much. And then after they're gone and I've replaced them with a high-capacity person, I'm going, oh, well, they really should have been able to do it. They just didn't have the stuff. And so I tend to blame myself for saying I put too much on them as my first knee-jerk reaction, and go, okay, why do we have this, these developers can't seem to get this web page up. What's the problem? And they're slower than Christmas is the problem. Or, our timeline is unrealistic. We're asking people to do something in a time period that just doesn't work. So right. The truthful answer to your question is, how do we know which one it is? We don't. You don't. I don't. All we can do is look at it and try to make our best guess on it and go, okay, one way you can measure, here's one thing else. I'm making this up as I go, but here's what I really do. I wonder if I can do it. And they can't get it done in that period of time, but I can. Then that tells you somebody else can. You got the wrong person, right? They're not high capacity, high performance enough. They don't have enough juice. Okay. And so whatever it is, if they're that. So like, for instance, a sales position, I've said 1,000,000 times I'm an old salesman. And so, okay, this guy, this gal or this guy, they can't seem to sell this product. And then I jump on the phone and I go like, I can sell 6 of them in 20 minutes. You're not even on the phone and you don't know how to talk and your narrative's awful and you're in the wrong position. So it's not the product. It's not the price. It's the person, And so, yeah. So one thing I gauge it against is, can I do it? Now, some things I'm hiring for, it's harder to judge because it's a special discipline that I don't know how to do. Like, for instance, writing code. I've never written a line of code in my life. So I can't really go, oh, well, I could do that, and why the crap can't you? I can't really apply that principle there. So I have to just gauge it and look, and then I'm going to start asking around, what is the person doing that you think you've overwhelmed? What are they physically doing?
They're a bookkeeper, and the specific challenge here is that the company's behind. So I'm basically having to choose. My approach was, like you said, I would want to do her role and see how long it took me. But I really can't because I've chosen to prioritize filing, year-end things.
Okay, so her job is to keep the books, and she can't keep them up.
And they've been behind. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Volume. There's that much volume in a 3-person business coming at one person to keep the books that they can't keep it.
It's a much bigger. It's not just 3 people. So I have 2 people who report to me, but that's just the finance team. Ops is way bigger. It's actually I think we have maybe 200-300 ops employees.
Okay, so what are the items? The bookkeeper is obviously keeping accounting books, right? So they're trying to do general ledger entries, and they're trying to do payables, and they're trying to do receivables. What are they doing?
Yeah, it's that. It should include bank reconciliations. When I came in, they were a few months behind, and I came in, in November, and they were doing August. And the previous year, they were in even worse. They're just behind, and I have to choose to catch them up, regular, with compliance. And so I haven't been able to spend the time that I would like to check out her role and see how long it takes me. I've done that for specific things, but I haven't done it for the whole role. So what I'm going to do
is I need to do a bit of a work study here and say, okay, it doesn't have to be super complicated, but you need to spend a few hours understanding the actual what this person actually is supposed to be doing. Okay.
Right.
And exactly what the elements of that are. And then you can pick up the phone and call someone else in your industry and say, hey, how much volume should a bookkeeper doing if they're doing this? How much volume should they be able to handle? Because we can't seem to get caught up. And I don't know if I've got too much volume for one person or if I've got a slow person. Tell me. And get somebody else around the business, or call an accounting firm even, and say, hey, I've got a bookkeeper and this is what I'm asking them to do, but you can't describe yet enough what their daily job entails from a work study standpoint to be able to get an answer from an outsider.
Right.
You need to get your hands in this, because you're going to lose this person, or you guys are going to get your head taken off by not keeping up with your numbers. So you've got to get this fixed. This is on fire. Not having your books up to date is major. That's a problem. Yeah. And it's been that way a long time, which means there's a lot of chaos around this business. And when you smell chaos like that, that tells you that's one of the things that's holding you guys back from leveling up to your next stage of business. And so you've got to get processes in place. And that's either going to involve doubling up and on hire here. You're going to have to go to leadership and say, look, we're not going to get caught up, and we're going to continue to limp in this place if we don't get this caught up, because we just simply have more volume than one person can do. Or we got the wrong person, and we got to get a person in here that can actually do twice as much. Because I'm amazed that some people can type faster than others. I'm amazed that some people can enter, their brains work faster than others on this kind of thing. And I'm amazed, different people have different capacities. And it could be that if you just kind of help them prioritize, it might streamline it and might speed it up. But because being overwhelmed also causes paralysis and slows things down, sludge in the machine, right? And so, there's a couple things you need to do as a leader here. You're going to have to step in, and your job is to serve your company and this person by getting this mess cleaned up. So I appreciate you asking the question, but you don't have the information yet to answer the question. Is it the person or is it the workload? Because you can't even describe the workload yet. So you're going to have to get in there and really understand that workload, take about 2 minutes, and then either streamline this and get the sludge out of the machine by creating a streamlined process, and then tell them that this is what we're going to do, and you're going to look over their shoulder until they get it done, even if you don't physically go in there and keep the books. Or you're going to leadership and saying, we got to add another one, or you're going to leadership and saying, we got to change this one out. It's a bum one. This person can't seem to do it at a reasonable speed, and so we're constantly behind, and it's not okay that we're constantly behind, because it's not okay, dude. That's a problem. So, yeah, the house is on fire here, and waiting a year and saying, oh, we've struggled for the last 3 years. Oh, bull, you need to fix this now. Like if you're on my team and you come to me with this, I'm going to give you like 30 days to have it completely solved, and I'll help you run some of the blockers if I'm your leader, but I'm going to put a deadline on you as the head of this area to get this crap fixed and light a fire under everybody here, because not keeping the books is just scary. Really, really, really scary.